Well, hello everybody. Welcome to the Ohio Gripe, and we're dropping frames already. We may end up restarting this, but fuck it, we're gonna go for now. How y'all doing out there in podcast land? Okay, great. Thanks for answering me. How you doing there, Rick?
Sorry, I was reading.
That's all right. I was talking to people in podcast land. All right. Well, we got a couple of topics we want to talk about. One thing I want to talk about right away, while it's still fresh on my mind, is of course we're going to talk about this. We are going to talk about the slap heard around the world. Just thought it was time for us to add in our little 2 cents. And of course, I'm talking about the 2022 Oscars, where Will Smith smacked the shit out of Chris Rock.
Yep.
And what I loved about it, I absolutely loved about it, was the fact that Chris Rock literally said, okay, Will Smith just smacked the shit out of me. I thought that was pretty funny. And I also have to go on record to say that I commend Chris Rock. I think that he lived up to his last name. He was a complete rock. Kept his hands behind him, didn't escalate, didn't even look like it hurt. He was just like, wow. He didn't touch his face. He didn't, like, his eyes didn't cross. He handled it like a freaking champ. Probably would have knocked me out, but yeah. So I just had to go on.
See, what's funny to me, though, I seen a little clip where Will Smith was laughing at the damn joke.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
He was laughing, and the next thing you know, he just magically gets up, walks up, smacks him.
Yeah.
What was the point? You're going to laugh and then hit him? For what?
Well, that's what we're going to talk about. That's what I'm going to talk about. I'm not going to talk about the event in and of itself. What I'm going to talk about is some of what other people are saying. One of the things, and since you said that, I'm going to use that as a segue to go into the first thing I'm going to talk about, which is, was it staged? Now, most people will say, no, it wasn't staged. Of course not. But hang with me for a second. I do not know if it was staged or not. I'm not taking a side. But I do think that, was it staged? I think there's enough evidence to warrant thinking about it or checking it out. Now, what am I talking about? What I'm talking about is just what Ricky said. He said 1 second, they're sitting there, they're laughing, they're cracking up, and then the camera turns away, and then all of a sudden, Will gets up, and he's not laughing. Now he's mad enough to assault someone. Walks up, smacks him, and then sits back down and starts yelling at him. But there's a couple of things that I noticed, and other people noticed too, because like I said, I've been reading about this. This is the first time I talked about it. First off, he was laughing at the joke. And then you can clearly see that, what's her name? Jada?
Jada, his wife, yeah.
So you can clearly see that Jada was not happy. She didn't seem mad. She seemed more disgusted. Okay? And a lot of people are saying that's because of the jokes that Chris Rock made when he hosted the 2016 Oscars. He did make a joke at Will and Jada's expense. However, think about that for a second. That's 7 years ago, right? How long do people hold a grudge? Now, we're going back to the staged part. So this is how it works out. He says the joke. He can clearly see that Jada's not happy, so he starts laughing, and he puts his hands out, and he's like, come on, that was a nice one, and he moves on. This is where it gets kind of weird. First off, let's be honest. No one even knew the Oscars were on. Right? Because everybody, I still believe this, everybody is still pissed off about the 2021 Oscars. If you remember, everyone in the country had to wear a mask at all times, except everybody at the Oscars. You have these starlets and these stars who are wearing, the women are wearing probably $1,000 makeup job, right? They got these beautiful little puffy lips. They're wearing borrowed or a really expensive jewelry, right? They're wearing these horribly expensive dresses. The men are all jacked up in like these massively expensive suits, right? Their hair's perfect. There's no way you're getting them to wear a mask that covers half their face. It's not going to happen. No. So they were the elites, and I love using that word, whoopee. They were the elites. They don't have to follow the rules, right? So the 2001 Oscars, there wasn't a mask on. They were all together, nice and close. And I think that just made everybody angry. That's an assumption on my part, but I'm going to go with it. So nobody was watching the Oscars. Nobody cares about the elites winning their little awards, the Hollywood giving Hollywood awards, giving them to each other. I just don't think that anybody cares anymore. Gaming and streaming and concerts seem to just take precedence. So, with that piece of information, is it so far-fetched that two really good actors and both comedians in their own right stage this fake slap. After all, think about it. They went from nobody even knew it was on to now it is the talk of the town for the next probably month, right? The ratings for the Oscars after that slap
I
went
guarantee you it
through
skyrocketed.
the roof, right? So if it was staged, it went off without a hitch. Now, here's another part, and this is what Terrence Williams, he's a black comedian, and he talked about this a little bit. Will Smith was laughing, right? He said the joke, basically said, G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it. So Will starts laughing, the camera moves, and again, we didn't see what happened. I guess Jada must have gave him a look or something.
Yep.
He snaps right out of laughing into rage, walks up. Now, this is where you need to watch the video and watch closely. For some reason, Chris Rock is standing there with his hands behind his back, and he's leaning forward, almost sticking his face right at Will. Right? Now, you may think, well, he may just anticipating what Will's going to do, like a sketch or a skit or something, or make it funny. Okay, fine, but it looks suspicious the way he's laughing and leaning forward. Like, you ever seen a goose when it goes to attack, or it puts his head forward and it runs like a battering ram? Right? Then Will Smith walks up, does the quick slap, and if you pause the video, as soon as Will turns around, I swear to God, there's a smirk on his face. He's still laughing seconds, not even a fraction of a second, after he smacked Chris Rock. And then when he spins around completely, he goes to the mad face, sits down, and that's when he blurts out, get my wife's name. So that looked really odd to me. So again, if you think, was it staged, there's enough evidence to where it makes you, I really wonder. Because the ratings went up, and the ratings were in the tank before then, and then they both, if you look at their candor as Will is walking up to Rock, Will and Rock, right? If Smith is walking up to Rock, you can see that I don't see Will Smith walking angry. He wasn't sticking his chest out. Maybe he was just trying to keep the art of surprise. I don't know. But he doesn't walk like he's mad and wants to kill Rock. He's walking like they're about to do a bit. Then he smacks him, and he smacks him kind of awkwardly. He had a really short throw, and then he followed through. And if you watch the smack, now you could hear it on Chris's mic, so I believe the smack was real. But Chris moved an awful lot. I've been smacked before, and usually you just kind of twitch and your cheek shudders. But Chris, man, he really moved. He swung his hips and stepped over. Again, could be very possible. Maybe that second hit connected. He's like, oh, crap, get out of the way. I'm just saying, I think if you watch the clip closely, there's enough evidence to make you really go, I wonder if it was staged. Okay, so that's one aspect of it, right? So whether you believe that or not, it's up to you.
Didn't Jada say something on an interview about her saying Tupac would have shot him or killed him or something? Or was that somebody just trying to make up an article?
I didn't
you
hear
didn't
that.
See any?
I didn't hear that one at all. I'm not saying it's not true. I didn't hear that one at all.
See if I can find it.
But, okay, so now we're going to switch gears, and we're going to go back to it wasn't staged, and now we're going to go into what other people are saying about it. Because after it happened, it became everybody was talking about it. Everyone wants to put their 2 cents in it. And I only have a couple of people. I know Joe Rogan was saying, and I'm not quoting, just something to the effect of he's got, he's like, you could see him, he smacked Chris Rock and then sat down and he's like quivering, and you could tell there's definitely some real stuff going on inside him. Like he's a broken man or needs therapy or something. Other people are saying that, he's kind of did the whole thug gangster thing, talking like that and all that stuff. And all that is, it's someone's personal opinion. I have a couple here. I do happen to like what Jim Carrey said. And this is actually quite normal for Jim Carrey. A lot of people, I remember Steve Crowder was saying that for once Jim Carrey said something that was true, but it's not really the truth. Jim has always stood up for comics. Period. Across the board. Doesn't matter if it's conservative view or left-wing view. If it has to do with protecting comedians, Jim is on it. If you remember, what was that comedian's name that took the pictures of Donald Trump's head? She like severed his head. What was her name?
Oh, I don't even remember.
Redhead comedian. Jim Carrey ran to her defense, and he's basically saying, this is comedy, it's satire, blah, blah, blah. So that's actually quite normal for Jim to side on any comedian side. And this time he went against Will. And basically what he said, and I'm quoting, "You do not have the right to walk up on stage and smack somebody in the face because they said words." And he's right. He also said, "I was sickened by the standing ovation when Will later won the Academy Award for Best Actor. I felt like Hollywood is just spineless, en masse. It really felt like, oh, this is a clear indication that we are not the cool club anymore." And, yeah, I'm not really sure what that meant, by the way. I don't know if they were ever the cool club, but anyways. And then he went on saying, he said, "It cast a pall over everyone's shining moment." And I couldn't agree with that one more. And Joe Rogan said that too. He said that slap ruined the whole evening. In Joe Rogan's words, he said it was like Will Smith stood up and literally took a shit on the table and then just sat back down, and everyone had to deal with this big turd on the table. And I think that's Jim's point too, is that slap just took the momentum and the fun out of the rest of the evening. All those people who work hard and are about to get their shining moment, and the only thing anyone's ever going to think about is the slap.
I mean, he did win the Oscar for a really good movie, though, so...
Well, I mean, I don't care that he won the Oscar. I think that they should have walked him out, and then Jada should have had to... Because let's be honest, Jada didn't do anything wrong. She may have... what's the word?
Instigated?
Yes, but she didn't actually do anything wrong. So I think that maybe they should have escorted him out, and she could have picked up the Oscar. And I still say let him keep the Oscar. He did the work. The Oscar represents the work, not the person. But it doesn't matter. If they take it away, I'm not going to be like, oh, I just don't care either way. But I do believe they should have kicked him out. They should have said, dude, you're not allowed to hit people, period. I mean, if that was true, Clint Eastwood or Jack Nicholson probably would have been slugging people from the very beginning.
Or Alec Baldwin. I think that's his
he's
name.
another, crazy. Anyways, doesn't matter. The point is that that was Jim's comments, and I couldn't agree more. Now, I am going to read, this is a rather lengthy one, but I think it's the best one I've heard so far, and that comes from Candace Owens. She did a whole skit monologue type thing, if I'm using that word correctly. Excuse me. And I really, this one shines a lot of light, and it's an interesting point of view. I'm not 100% if it's true because I don't know enough about Will Smith, but it's certainly raised an eyebrow. And Candace Owens did say, and I quote, "For the first time we saw the real Will Smith, not a Fresh Prince, not a survivor of a zombie apocalypse, not a crime-fighting cop, not a superhero, but the real Will Smith. An incredibly broken man and a residual product of a directionless society that is filled with them. The kind of society that produces men that look to their more domineering wives with their tail planted firmly between their legs for instructions on who and what they ought to be in every room. The truth is that off the big screen, Will Smith has been spiritually annihilated by his wife." And then she goes on to say, excuse me, let me breathe. "Don't forget that Jada Pinkett Smith, if I said her name correctly, who openly shared with the world how she cheated on her husband with her son's friend. Then she dragged her puppy dog husband out on the world stage and told the public while making him sit through it, listen to it, and agree that she had a right to do it." Then she continued on to say, "Will Smith today is someone who should be pitied, not prosecuted in a courtroom or even persecuted in a public eye, but pitied by every person who has the clarity to see that how our society, as sponsored by the perversions of these Hollywood types, is falling apart. Will Smith is nothing more than a casualty of the great war against humanity," end quote. And I think that one just might be the best explanation. Again, if it wasn't staged, that would make sense because we've all seen the interview of Jada just kind of, I don't think I did anything wrong. I slept with my son's friend.
I think everybody's seen that.
Yeah, and that's why, and you can see he's trying to play it off, but you can see the hurt in his eyes.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So that actually makes a lot of sense. Whether it's true or not, I don't know, and you're free to draw your own conclusions, but I thought that's a pretty clear, just theory, if you will, or, whatever. But I actually kind of respected that one quite a bit, and I also love the fact that she just knows how to say it. I mean, she's got a clarity to what she says. It cuts right through all my stupidity and really sinks in.
And personally, I feel like she's right.
Yeah, that's the one that makes the most sense to me. But I do like entertaining the idea that it was staged, because I don't put it beyond them at all. Hey, we got this award coming up. It's the greatest thing in our industry. How do we make people watch it? And there's pictures of Rock and Will and Jada being friends in the past. You know, who's to say that they didn't, hey, why don't we do this? Because if you watch Chris Rock's, the way he moved, it seemed a bit extreme. Not saying it was. If you look at the smirk as soon as Will spins around, there's enough there to make me question whether that's possible or not. And I guess we'll find out in time. And, of course, it only took... Ooh, loud helicopter. It only took 48 hours for somebody to go completely woke. Holy crap, is it landing on my roof?
That could be interesting.
It could be.
That's a whole new meaning to Santa Claus right there.
I wish you'd pull up a little bit. Anyways, it only took 48 hours for the woke crowd to completely spin this way out of control. There is a newspaper in Britain called The Guardian that worked wokeness into the slap. It's pretty crazy. And what she wrote, the headlines read, "White outrage about Will Smith's slap is rooted in anti-blackness. It's inequality in plain sight." Now I'm going to go on a little further to read a little bit more. Forgive me if I screw this up, but it says, "We do not condone violence. Assault is never the answer. These words have..." What? Sorry. Pop-ups. I'm on a freaking Chromebook here. So let me get rid of the pop-ups. Let me start that over. "These words have echoed through all of my social media accounts since Will Smith slapped Chris Rock for making a poor taste joke about Smith's wife, Jada Pinkett. The joke referenced..." Okay, I'm not going to go into that. Let's just start here. "Most people agree that the slap shouldn't have happened, but there's something that feels precious," I can't say that word very well, "precious at best and downright racist at worst, about white people's reaction to the now infamous smack. The Hollywood director Judd Apatow declared in a deleted tweet," which we can't, double check. I'm not saying she's lying, but there's no way to double check it. "Smith could have killed Rock." And I remember you said, like, really?
Yeah, I call BS.
Yeah, and well, even she said that. She's like, seriously? Calling it pure out-of-control rage and violence. Apatow later confirmed he wasn't even watching this show when he made the remarks. The radio show host Howard Stern compared Smith to Donald Trump, the evil one, of course. Donald Trump, while white women on Twitter somehow decided that Smith's actions meant he must be beating his wife. It would seem that there's a layer of hyper-violence that's being projected onto Smith simply because he's black. He's a black man who was defending his wife. Is that all he was doing? I agree with Jim Carrey. He could have said something. If he would have not smacked Chris and just told Chris from the seat, "Keep my wife's name out of your mouth," I think that would have been perfectly fine. But the slap is where he really went bad.
Well, my thing is, I feel like Jada definitely instigated that whole thing easily.
It's quite possible, yeah.
Because ever since the whole cheating affair fiasco, I don't think he's the same person.
No, I mean, according to Candace Owens, he's been spiritually annihilated.
Oh, easily.
That's quite possible.
Because how do you come back from your wife sleeping with, your son's best friend or whatever, and you're just supposed to pretend and everything's normal, and it's really not, considering you let the whole world know. If it was just between you two, that's kind of just, a husband and wife situation, not a whole universe.
It's almost like she was bragging about it.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
I totally
certainly doesn't
think,
put her in a very good light.
I totally think it's 100% her fault. I mean, obviously everybody has their own opinion, but just the fact of Will was laughing that I seen the most, and then next thing you know, he gets all mad.
Oh crap, she's not happy. Let me go smack him.
Yep. I definitely think she had a lot to do with a lot of the stuff he's been doing.
Yeah.
Acting, I should say, wise.
But anyway, so that's it. She actually went on to say a little bit more here in The Guardian, but I'm kind of skimming through it, and it's really no point reading it. She just basically thinks that, black men should be allowed to smack whoever they want. Now, the funny thing about this, there's the final aspect of this, what I'm going to talk about here, is there's a third possibility. And that possibility is, I don't know how woke Will Smith is. I know he's a Christian. He boasts about being, God-fearing. But I don't know if that has anything to do with wokeness. So here's my theory. Right now, when it comes to woke people, there is a war on comedians, absolutely across the board. And what I mean by that is there's a protest against freedom of speech, and that is called hate speech. All right? They try to say that words can make people go up and slap you, right? That's hate speech. And hate speech is really just, again, it's just a protest against the First Amendment. You have the right to say whatever you want. And whoever you're saying it to can believe it, not believe it, care, not care, But still, you can say it. They're just words. Sticks and stones won't, can break your bones, but words will never hurt you. Well, apparently that saying is now gone. So here's where I'm getting at. Now, Will Smith goes on stage and smacks the shit out of Chris Rock, right? And then he gets his award. And what's he say? He says, it's up to me to be protector of people. I love people, right?
But yeah, he just slapped Chris Rock.
Right. So that tells me, now I could be wrong, and I welcome any other counter argument, that he thinks that Chris Rock makes a living off of saying negative things about people, roasting people, as Joe Rogan would call it, and most of the world, and myself. Sorry, I don't know why I put Joe Rogan's in there. But anyways, he gets paid to roast people, and that's what he's doing there. But what if, they're so woke that he thought, hey, he's roasting, my wife, and I can defend her, and I can show the world that it's not okay to say mean things about people, even though, just calling out that she's got a short haircut, regardless whether she's got alopecia or not, just a short hair. Because I didn't see chunks missing. I just saw short hair. And it's not the first time that Jada had short hair. So, and actually she's still quite beautiful, even with the short haircut. It's not like she's ugly now. She's a beautiful woman. So what if that was like rooted in wokeness? And then he goes on stage and talk about how he's the protector and it's his job to make sure the bad people get punished. And it's just a third something I thought of.
To me, it reminds me of the whole Johnny Depp thing too.
Yeah, that had nothing. He's not a comedian.
No,
I was talking about.
He's definitely in the limelight, though.
Yeah, like I was talking about. If you watch Jerry Seinfeld's Comedians in Coffee or Comedians in Cars Drinking Coffee, I think it's called it. Every time he gets a comedian and they talk, they always talk about people at their shows. They pay for the ticket, they go to the show, and then these comedians will mention one thing. And these people stand up and disrupt the show and try to stop the show because they're offended.
A heckler.
Yeah, well, heckling's one thing. A heckler could be someone just making jokes at a joke, trying to get attention. I'm talking about the ones who try to stop the show or try to make the comedian feel bad because he said something about somebody. It's you're not wrong. It's just I'm talking about the ones who are trying to shut it down. And I think it's been going on for a while now. And I remember watching the show that Jerry Seinfeld speaks very sternly on this. That's just ridiculous. If people, want to go see a comedian, you have to take the risk of hearing something that might be a bit too strong. And I know that, like I said, this whole hate speech thing has been going on for about 3, 4, 5 years now.
Yep.
Maybe even longer. And what if Will gone woke and heard that and said, that's not nice and I have to stop this man? Because after all, anybody who believes in the whole hate speech thing, that's what they do. They stop you. They shut you down. They get you booted off of social media. They, try to get you to lose your try to get you to lose your job and things like that. They go, way too far. So what if? So if you take his acceptance speech and how God called on him to control this and to protect this, and it's just, it seemed a bit thick if he was just talking about protecting Jada. It seemed like he was going a bit far with it,
I don't know if I could ever protect somebody after something that she did.
Most people would divorce, but
yeah.
But and Megyn Kelly did say something that I kind of stand behind, and she said in an interview that what happened between Jada and Will is their business.
Oh yeah,
we have
100%.
We have no right to judge, It's their marriage. They can do it. And I have to agree with that. I don't know why they would take that public. But again, and once they do take it public, they open themselves up for people's opinions.
Wasn't it on her interview TV show, the Red Table Talk or something like that?
Maybe. All I saw was her and Will. I didn't know she did it with other people. But
well, I don't know if it was with other people, but I want to say it was like Red Table Talk, I think it was called, or like her little interview talk show that she does.
Yeah, it's possible. I don't know. I never saw it. I just saw that one clip. But anyways, that was the third thing I just wanted to touch on. What if? What if it was done out of wokeness? You know, Chris Rock is a comedian that roasts people on a regular basis. And right now, with everyone thinking hate speech, we got to shut him down. Just like they're trying to shut down Joe Rogan, for different things.
What would happen if it was somebody else other than Chris Rock?
Yeah, what if he walked up and smacked, Jeff Ross or someone? Or The Rock? Would he have done it if The Rock was up here?
Yeah, that's the thing. Because my thing is, Rock, I think The Rock's a good actor.
Oh, hold on 1 second. Let me correct that. I forgot that Chris Rock's last name is The Rock. I meant Dwayne Johnson. Sorry. For those of you who are like, what the fuck are you talking about? Yeah, what if Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, was up there talking?
And
Will
said
Smith?
That.
Yeah.
Granted, I wouldn't see The Rock say
what
it,
if it was Joe Rogan? Smith towers over Joe Rogan, but Joe Rogan is a, martial arts.
Yes, he is.
He will kick your ass.
He's a black belt in, I don't remember which.
Jiu-jitsu.
He's a black belt in one of them.
And probably a couple more. I don't know everything, but he's probably, I know it's jiu-jitsu, and then I think maybe a couple more. I could be wrong on that. I'm sure Joe Rogan fans will correct me. But what if it was him? Would he have gotten up there and slapped him?
Yeah, but also, who's to say they even would have said anything about it?
Yeah.
But still, would he have done it if it was somebody other than Chris Rock?
Yeah. Yeah, he certainly wouldn't have got up and smacked Wanda Sykes. What if Wanda Sykes did that joke? After all, she was one of the hosts.
Yeah, she was. I forgot about that.
So would he have? So would Jada have gotten up and smacked her?
I actually just seen a thing where she went on the Ellen DeGeneres show and
she was
talking
defending
about it. Yeah,
she said at the after party, Chris Rock walked up to her and apologized. He said, "I am so sorry." And Wanda's like, "What do you got to be sorry about?" And he says, "Well, that one incident ruined your whole, you were the host, and that was your moment."
Yep.
And she went on to say that it wasn't Chris Rock's fault, but she also couldn't believe that they didn't escort Will Smith out. So there is some intelligent people but I do agree with Jim Carrey that the producers and they're just spineless. They're always telling us how to live, but then they're, oh my gosh, we are dropping frames like crazy. Oh well, I'll just upload this. So that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about. I just wanted to bring that up, a couple of different opinions and things like that.
It's definitely interesting. Mostly due to the fact of how it happened.
Yeah.
Because I never knew the Oscars were even on. I was downstairs playing my game, or I was watching TV or something. Next thing you know, I got the little notification, Will Smith slaps Chris Rock. I'm like, what? No way.
Yeah.
And I click on it and I look at it. I'm like, well, that's different.
Right.
You'd think of Will Smith, stand-up guy kind of deal, and then that happens.
Yeah, that was another thing. Why Will Smith? I think Candace might be right. That was the first time we saw the real Will Smith.
Could be.
Not maybe all this time he's been acting and trying to play the nice guy and all that, and who knows.
But you can only take so much.
Yeah.
Till you snap, and just happened to be on the biggest stage. Well, one of them anyways.
Right. But anyways. All right. So, do you have anything to talk about?
Yes.
Good. Thank God.
Hold on. I lost it. Where'd it go? I lost it. It refreshed. I gotta say this one thing, though. I still can't get over this man caught flying stolen plane shoeless.
Nice. So where was that at?
I don't know, but I keep seeing it pop up, and it's just intriguing.
So somebody stole a jet, And they're fascinated about the fact that he flew it shoeless.
Yes. Why does it matter if he had shoes or not?
If he stole a jet, it's not like he stole a trike or something.
No, it was a jet.
It was a jet. I mean, don't you need a runway? How do you do that?
I have no idea.
Is he military?
No.
Nice.
Nope. So there's one. It was a French airspace. So apparently it was way over there.
So France.
Yep.
Apparently they need to jack up their security on all jets.
A French, I don't even know how to say the name of the plane, but it was a 2000 fighter jet intercepted the shoeless pilot and escorted him to land. Wow.
Why shoeless?
Who cares if he was shoeless?
What does your feet do in a plane? Aren't there pedals?
Yeah, for the rudder.
Okay. So why? I don't understand. I mean, did he have flip-flops on? Was he like a Buffett fan, or is he just forgot his shoes? One time I went for a bike ride, and after I left the house, I realized I was wearing Crocs.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, so I had to turn around and go home. That's extremely different. But it's not like, I don't care. I'm going to wear my Crocs.
I just can't get over that. Like, who cares if he was wearing shoes or not? He stole a jet.
Yeah, that's the headline.
Like, why? Oh, man.
Was it a military jet?
That it doesn't say. It just says...
It shows a picture of a military jet.
Yeah, that's what I don't get. But it just says a commercial airliner.
Oh, well, then it's not... No, it's not. If it's commercial, it's not military.
But...
So he stole a private jet. Or was it like a 747 or something?
I have no... He was in his 30s, I can tell you that.
All right. So I guess people in their 30s... He probably lost gaming. He was gaming somebody, lost a fight, and got mad and hopped the fence and stole a jet. He has to be a pilot. I wouldn't know how to get a jet off the ground.
I did see a clip where it was a... what is that? Like an air show or something?
Yeah.
Somebody just kind of goes through the fence, steals one of the planes, and just flies off with it.
He still has to be a pilot. There's no way you can take off and land without having that instruction. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care how many flight simulator computer games you play.
Next thing you know, you're just reading the pilot's manual or something as you're trying to take off, trying to run away from everybody.
Put the croissant in the... Put down the pastry. I don't know a French accent. So sorry about that.
It's just too funny. Oh, man.
So in France, you can steal a jet if you know how to fly one. Okay, all I have is articles on where the clitoris is, so I'm going to have to move on from that.
Thanks to the woman. In 2018, 2 teenage boys stole a small aircraft and flew it around Utah before they were arrested.
Okay. Again, they have to know how to fly.
But 2 teenage boys, come on.
I don't care what anyone says. How would they know how to get the plane off? I mean, getting it off the ground, I guess, would be fairly easy. You just gun it. But they landed it, right?
It doesn't say at all. It just says 2 teenage boys in 2018.
Were they arrested?
Yes.
All right. Well, then they couldn't have crashed. So they must have got it on the ground in a relatively safe manner. That is not an easy task to do.
That same year, an Alaskan Airlines employee stole a plane and did stunts before crashing it into an island near Seattle.
Did he live?
It doesn't say.
I bet he didn't live. But at least he was an airport employee.
Yeah, I mean, yes, but how are you just going to steal a plane?
Yeah,
like, come on.
It can't be easy.
I
mean, it's hard enough to steal a car, from what I understand. Not that I've ever tried it. I never will. I think theft is the most petty of all the crimes.
I don't know. If you take a plane to a pawn shop, though, you might get a couple million out of it.
I don't know.
I'm just saying.
I think Morris Loan and Canton will be like, what the hell do you want me to do with this?
I want to sell it. I don't want to pawn it. I ain't going to come up with the money.
Yeah. I'll give you a guitar for it.
I mean, if you took it to the Pawn Stars, they might just tell you, "Oh, I'll just give you $20. That's
Actually,
all I can do. Best I can do."
Yeah, that's the best I can do. That plane is 4 years old. And
the wing's broken or something, you know.
There's a scratch. Has wiring issues. I can smell the ozone from here.
I love that show, though. I don't care what anybody says.
The best thing about the Pawn Stars is the Danny Coker's Count's Customs spinoff, the Counting Cars.
Yep. I loved when he did it.
Yeah, I love those guys.
I liked it when there's a couple celebrities that can pop up here and there. And who was the dude that played Despicable?
The cartoon?
Yeah.
I never saw those.
Oh, man. Steve
Buscemi.
Steve Carell or something?
Steve Carell?
Yeah. He showed up and he got so mad at Rick because he's like, "Aren't you Steve Carell?" And he's like, "No, I get that a lot." And he just kept going back and forth with him, messing with him. Oh, it was funny. And then Dana White showed up too. Yeah. That was a good one.
Quick shout out to Horny Mike from Counting Cars. I love that dude. Amazing artist.
Or, who was it? Mick Foley when he went on Pawn Stars.
Mick Foley?
Yes, he did.
Who is that?
WWE legend.
Okay.
Hall of Famer, whichever one you want to call.
Yeah.
But he showed up because somebody had one of his original masks and shirts or something like that. And Chumlee called him and he came in and did it. It was awesome. I love that show. I did not care for that. What was it? Hardcore Pawn? The Detroit one?
Oh, yeah.
I couldn't stand that one.
Is it me or is most of the spinoffs bad? With the exception of Counting Cars. I actually like Counting Cars better than Pawn Stars, but most of the time, yeah. Like when they had the Storage Wars, right? My wife and I used to watch that.
I used to watch it too.
We just liked the people involved.
Yep.
And then they did Storage Wars Dallas and
a whole bunch of ones.
Yeah, Pittsburgh and Detroit.
For what?
Yeah, and it's just I was actually joking about those, but I didn't care for those, and it's just because I didn't care for the people.
Well, my thing was, I'm pretty sure I seen an interview where Rick was mad that the History Channel did a spinoff because they said that they weren't going to, and they still ended up doing it.
Yeah. Well, actually, crap. Give me a second. Richard Rollins was telling Joe Rogan recently that he's now a free agent, and that Fast and Loud is coming to an end. Because
I can't get into that one.
Oh, I love Fast. Well,
I don't know what it is. I just couldn't get into it.
I'm a huge fan of Dennis Collins and Richard Rollins. Aaron Kaufman fell off the radar when he quit, but I'm a huge fan of Richard Rollins. But Fast and Loud was just a funny show, but I guess now that the contract is up, that he's a free agent, he keeps saying, but I'm pretty sure that the show Fast and Loud is finally over. But I could be wrong on that. Again, I watched it a few weeks ago, and my memory's not that great, but
that was just the one show I could never get into. I don't know why. Then again, I'm not a car guy, so that kind of really don't help, but
yeah,
I just couldn't do it.
The one thing that upset me, I don't know how much you watched it and know the people, but back in the day when they first started, they had Casey Matthews.
Don't know the name.
Yeah, he was the redhead painter, and he was by far the funniest guy on that show. And then he quit the show and started his own show on the internet, which is still really cool. But I don't know if he just didn't want to do it, so he just didn't take it seriously. But on his show, he's all serious and talking cool. But when he was on Fast and Loud, he was just hilarious. When you watch Tricky Ricky, the guy in the gorilla suit was Casey Matthews, and you see him just attacking the balloons and stuff. I mean, it's just that kind of genius. But I'm pretty sure that was Casey Matthews. It might not have been Casey Matthews in a gorilla suit, but I saw something that made me say, "That's Casey Matthews."
The only artist I know is Bob Ross, and that's only because my cousin is obsessed with him.
Bob Ross is funny.
I never watched it, ever. I just know his name, and he painted, that's it. And he had curly, poofy hair.
Wait a minute. I'm talking about the comedian Bob. Or Bob. Oh,
yep.
I'm an idiot. That's Jeff Ross. I'm talking about Jeff Ross. Bob Ross is, yes, the painter.
Yep.
Painting
but that's
happy
the only
trees.
one I know.
Have you ever seen the documentary about that?
No.
It's horrible. Like, there's two people that were involved with the business side of Jeff Ross, or Bob Ross. And they were evil. And then Bob ended up passing away, and now his son can't even use his last name because these people own it.
What?
Yeah. He's not allowed to put Ross on any of his paintings, so he has a school where he teaches people how to paint, and that's how he lives. He has no access to anything his father ever did.
That's a bunch of...
Yeah, that's a legal system. The documentary is heartbreaking if you watch it.
I'm going to have to watch that now.
Yeah, because Bob Ross was a genuine hippie. He just loved people and loved painting. And
I mean, his paintings were excellent, though. I will say that.
And he whipped them together so fast.
Yep. And then he'd try to talk to you. He's like, wait, what'd you just say? How would you do this?
Put a happy tree here. And you just whack it. Just whack
Yep.
the brush.
Just
Of course,
crazy.
I'm nowhere near Ryan Reynolds' level, but Ryan Reynolds with the whole Deadpool thing did one of the greatest impersonations of Bob Ross I have ever seen.
And it's so funny to see him in other movies and just like out and about as a normal person.
Yeah.
And then you see him in Deadpool and it's like, oh dear God.
That is real Ryan Reynolds right there.
It's
But anyways,
such a good movie, though.
Bob Ross was cool as hell, and yeah, that whole thing just sucks.
I never knew anything about that.
So if you're buying Ross paints, don't buy Ross paints because, the Ross family isn't seeing a dime from that.
I never knew any of that at all.
They come out with signature paints and signature brushes, and it was all BS. It was just like basic stuff that they put his name on, and
Everybody wants to buy his name.
and they think it's going to the family, and it's not. It's going to these two people, this couple that like owned everything Ross.
That's a crock of, let's not go there, but whatever. I never knew that. That's terrible.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that it's either on Netflix or Prime, but I watched it quite a while ago, but it might still be on there.
I might have to get Netflix again for that. I got rid of it forever ago.
Excuse me.
So
that's it. Dead air.
I got to say one thing.
Well, you said a lot, but go ahead and say one more thing.
My thing is, I know you're not a sports guy.
That's right.
But it still bothers me that Deshaun Watson is guaranteed $230 million over the next 5 years.
Is that a lot? What is a typical football player's contract?
Quarterbacks are kind of usually scattered depending on if you're phenomenal or not. And I don't think he's really that good considering he only played for the Texans. But in the same sense, it's the Browns and they always do over-the-top stupid shit. Flat out. I'm sorry. I can't. It's just mind-boggling.
Have they given you an idea of why they're willing to spend that kind of money? Do they think he's going to do great things?
Yes, but he set out all of last year because he wanted to leave Houston Texans. So he hasn't even played at all yet. A couple years ago. But he set out all of last season. And then, I don't know, right as soon as the off season or the beginning of the season, 22 sexual allegations came out, and
any unproven?
No, he was not guilty or something along that line. What is that? Indicted, I think, or something.
Indicted.
Yes, that one. And then two other girls came out and said the same thing.
That doesn't matter. If he wasn't indicted, then there either wasn't enough evidence.
Yep.
Or he didn't actually do it. So.
Well, the other thing, two other girls are now claiming, I want to say it was sexual misconduct now for two other women. But my thing is, how are 22 women just going to come out and say it? Like, I get it. They probably want money,
it could be a feminist group. I'm just saying it's so easy to do that. To women just say, he did something to me.
Just to get the money. Which, personally, I feel like if he's not guilty, something should happen to 22 women.
Absolutely.
I really feel that way. Because
if it comes out that it was a lie, then Jesse Schmidt, or Schmott, how do you say his name? Schmollett? He's not the only one that should go to jail.
Because it's mind-blowing. Sorry about that. My phone. My mom's calling. Sorry, mother. But my thing is,
tune into YouTube.
You paid him $230 million guaranteed, and then if he is found guilty, you're out $230 million. Yeah. And they gave up a ton of draft picks for him, too. So then, if
I can see that point,
he's not guilty, then you got a decent quarterback and build around him, but if he is, you majorly screwed up. And that'll be the typical Browns because they do it a lot.
Yeah.
But 22 women, definitely something should happen to them because what's the word? Took his name down or what? I can't even think of the word.
I can't think of it either.
But you basically just
right now someone's screaming at their computer. It's this word, you morons.
Yep. But
sorry.
you took his name through the mud, and then now he's got to go out and attempt to play when the entire state of Ohio hates him because of what he did. Because I seen now, okay, I'm a Steelers fan. So, anywho, when Michael Vick went and signed with Pittsburgh after he did the dogfighting thing, I went to one of the games, and to see everybody outside of the stadium protesting, holding signs up saying Vic don't belong here and blah, 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 blah. That was kind of mind-blowing. I didn't think that was a real thing. I really didn't. I mean, I love my dogs. You know, everybody loves dogs or cats, whatever, or cats are jerks in some people's cases. But the fact that that actually happened, like, he served his time, he did a terrible thing, he paid a lot of money back to it, he still works with the Humane Society on it, so let the man live. I mean, he retired now, obviously, but
yeah.
I feel like you should just let it go in a sense, but with this one being really new and it's 22 different women, it's not going to go easy.
Might be something to it.
I did see he had a press conference and somebody asked him about how, what was it? They asked him about something, why he was in New York City apparently getting a massage.
Oh, and what was getting massaged?
So my thing is, if you're in Houston, Texas,
It was massage.
why do you need to go to New York to somebody you don't know at all?
Are you sure he didn't know it? Maybe this one guy was just the best masseuse.
That's all he could say because since it's still under investigation, he can't go into details about it. And I'm like, whatever. But just the fact it's 22 women, I don't know. I find it hard to believe.
I'm picturing Will Smith's face in crap cops. What's the Bad Boys?
Bad Boys?
Where he says she massages shit.
I love that movie.
So, anyways.
I don't know.
So is right now, I've mentioned before that I'm oblivious to sports. So right now it's draft season? Or is that
not
over?
until April. I don't know the exact day, actually.
Oh.
It's in April. That's all I know. Because it's...
How can you call yourself a football fan if you don't even know what draft season is?
Because when them adding another week in the season, it's just, I don't know, it threw me off all year. Just terrible. Literally. They added a 17th week, and it threw me off. It is Thursday, April 28th to Saturday, April 30th is the draft.
Oh, that is a lot of weeks. I thought it was like 2 days.
Oh, no. The first day.
Now, let me ask you this. Since you're a sports fan, and the only sports I like have engines, when I can't even think of the frickin' what's the big one at the end?
Super Bowl?
Thank
Yes.
you. My God, I'm an idiot. So obviously there's Super Bowl parties, right? And
Yes.
a lot of stores and all that. Do people get together to watch the drafting and stuff like that?
I mean, some people do. I know.
Is that like a massive fan thing to do, or is that?
If you go to it physically instead of watching on TV, oh God, yes. There's massive amounts of people.
Now, where do they go?
This one, I want to say this year is in Las Vegas.
Of course it is.
I think Las Vegas or Los Angeles. It's one of the two.
Ugh. Las Vegas. Make it Las Vegas.
Because I know last year it was in Cleveland.
Really?
Oh, yes, it was in Cleveland. So I
have nothing good or bad to say about that.
That was definitely interesting.
I know. Oh, I have something to talk about real quick, but that's all right. Go ahead.
Yes, it is Las Vegas this year.
Yes.
So,
yes.
if you actually go to it, I guarantee you there's a lot of people. But to watch it at home, it's just kind of whatever. As soon as the first round is April 28th, and that'll take up the whole day.
Yeah.
But now, the first round, that's really what I feel most people would care about because that's really all the good talent first, second, maybe third. You could find a gem later, but it's very rare. I mean, Tom Brady is one of them to be in instance, considering he's probably the greatest of all time, and I did not just say that because I don't like him. So, anywho.
Now, let me ask you this. Does baseball and basketball also have draft?
Yes. Baseball's actually they draft during the season, which
Nice.
I've never understood that. It always made me mad, but whatever.
I guess I kind of knew that, but I didn't know if there was like a day.
There's multiple days.
Okay.
Same. I don't really pay attention to basketball at all, but I know there's a draft too, and you only have to play 1 year in college, and then you can enter for the draft.
I don't have a problem with that.
I don't either, but how many NBA players are there, considering you got so many college basketball teams, and then if you're only eligible after the first year, that's crazy.
I mean, if you're looking at a bowl full of pasta, you're going to pick out the best ones. Who cares how big the bowl is?
Oh, yeah, for sure. But
Did that make any sense whatsoever? See, that's the fat guy in me. You're talking about sports. I'm comparing it to a bowl of food. I mean, that's just how I roll.
If it's good food, who cares?
That's right.
I like food as the next guy.
Candace Owens wouldn't like it that I mentioned pasta. She's going to make you fat. She's going to kill you. But I like it. By the way, I don't hate Candace Owens. I think she's quite genius and brilliant, and I love watching her. It's just she doesn't like fat people, and I'm fat, so I pick on her.
I'm fat too. I'm 240 pounds.
Oh my gosh, you heavyweight. So I'm sitting here rocking 315.
I'm almost there, and that is terrifying to me.
Slim Fast. It works.
I was gonna say
it's delicious.
What is that?
Slim Fast?
No, the other one. Isn't there another one? There's Boost, I think.
Oh no, Boost is not for dieting. Boost is for people who don't eat and like people like with medical conditions or like older people.
That's not me. I like to eat.
And they need to put on weight. That's like Boost. And then there is another one that I thought of just when you said that, and I forgot what it was. Oh, Ensure. Ensure is just like not the same thing with Boost, really. Slim Fast is the only one, and I know this because the wife and I went out and looked. Slim Fast, so far, is the only one on grocery store shelves. Now, if you look on the internet, you might find other ones, but on the grocery store shelves in this area, Slim Fast is the only one that is an actual meal replacement. You replace 2 meals and eat the third, and that's how it works. All the other protein drinks are either supplements. You drink this, and then you go pick something up heavy and put it down, and then you pick it back up again and you put it down, and then you pick it back up again and put it down, or you grab something that's attached to a big rubber band and you stretch it out, and then you let it relax and you stretch it out, and you do that for like an hour. That's what those are for. They're not meal replacements. You got to read. Otherwise, you'll end up gaining weight because the supplements got way more sugar and calories and all that stuff meant to burn off while you're picking something up and putting it down, and then picking something up, and then you put it back down, and then you pick it up again.
I would just eat it.
Well, here's an idea. Anybody who lives in Ohio, which I think is most of the people who listen to our podcast, why isn't there's got to be a reason, and it can't just be money. Why isn't there there's 24-hour fitnesses. Why isn't there 24-hour swimming pools? I mean, I need to kind of not work out. I need to start moving, and I don't want to pick something up and put it down and pick something up, and I don't want to sit on this metal frame and pedal like I'm going somewhere, but I'm not going anywhere, especially when half of these gyms put the bikes that I need to be on right in front of the windows. So you're sitting there looking like a jackass, pedaling your ass off, and the people driving by are looking at you, and you're looking at them like, "Hi."
That reminds me of the
rec center. I'm not doing
anything.
I'm just pedaling my bike.
That's what the rec center did. I haven't been over there in I don't know how long, but their treadmills were right in front of the window, and you could see everybody running.
Yeah, I don't know. No, thank you. Because, I mean, yes, okay, if you're on a treadmill, you might want to watch traffic. But glass goes both ways. They're watching you, too. So I thought I could go swimming. I can do that. I'd like to go to the YMCA and go swimming, but they close. They close, at normal business times.
Same with the rec, too.
Why can't you? Well, the rec at least is open till 11.
I didn't even know that.
Well, let me take that back. It used to be. Since COVID, I don't know their new hours, but it used to be open till 11, and they open at 7. The problem with the rec center, and we're talking where we live. This is Massillon, Stark County. The problem with the rec center, I don't care if you go at 11 at night or 7 in the morning, it's full of kids. And you can't really go swimming for exercise because you'll be running into children.
Their hours are 5:30 to 9.
Oh, they did change. They used to be open later. But I'm just saying, why can't I get off work? I mean, I know that this isn't New York and Las Vegas and L.A. Why can't I get off work at midnight and go to some place, even if I have to sign a waiver saying if I get a cramp and drowned, I can't sue?
That's your fault.
Yes. Why? I'll do that. I'll sign that. I'm pretty confident that I can swim for a half hour and not die. But why? Why isn't there any place in Ohio, even if it's like a 30, 40-minute drive, which would be Akron or... anyways, why? Why can't I go swimming at 1 o'clock in the morning?
I say we just make our own...
I don't know how. I don't have any
place.
money. We're filming this in a sun porch because I'm broke. So I don't have any money, but I want it to happen. There's an idea, peeps. If you got money, call it a Turkish bathhouse. I don't care. I just want to go swimming, and I don't want to like break into someone's backyard.
You know, I never even thought of that. That'd be nice to have a 24/7 swimming pool.
Or at least have it open until 2 a.m. If the bars close at 2 a.m., you can have a pool open till 2 a.m.
Ooh, I don't know.
Because if you work midnights, you get off at 7 in the morning, and the rec center's open there. If you work day shift, you get off anywhere between 3 and 5, and everything is open at that point. But what about the second shift guys? The guys like me who don't get off until let me rephrase that. Who don't stop working until midnight.
Sometimes.
Right. Yeah. Well, sometimes I work over, and sometimes I get off at any particular time. But that has nothing to do. Well, that is minor exercise, but we're not going to talk about that. So why can't I just go somewhere? Like I said, I don't mind driving to Akron. I wouldn't mind driving south to, say, what's south? Not Columbus. That's a 2-hour drive.
Yeah, that's too far.
Amish country. Sweet sugar water and, bath and charm and something like that. I would do that too.
That could be interesting. That'd be a nice little...
Because think about it. You go there, even when you go to the rec center, they force you to take a shower so you get all the chemicals off your body, right? So you're working, you get all sweaty, no big deal. You grab a shower, get in your trunks, go swim. And if you worked really hard, you wouldn't want to go swimming anyways. So you go swimming, then you shower again to get off the chlorine, and now you're just ready to go home and go to bed.
Yeah, that'd be nice. And my thing is, I personally think Amish country is kind of like I don't want to say like a major tourist attraction area.
No, not major, but
they definitely get a lot of people there.
Yeah, but not at midnight.
Oh, no.
The Amish still believe in blue laws. They're shut down by 8 o'clock.
And they ain't working on Sunday.
Right. So if they have a 24-hour, maybe it could even be a 24-hour swim place that has surveillance instead of lifeguards. I wouldn't mind. If I'm swimming, I wouldn't mind someone watching me on a camera if their job is to make sure I don't drown.
Just not in the locker room.
Yeah, exactly. There has to be privacy somewhere. I'm not trying to get him to see my doofloppy. I just wanted to go swimming a little bit.
And it'll do more than swimming.
Huh? Yeah, it went right over my head. What'd you say?
Nothing. Nothing at all.
I can go back and watch the video. Anyways. So
24 hours swimming, though. That is definitely interesting, though.
That's what I want to do.
I never thought of that.
If I had the money, I would buy a house and then build an indoor pool so I can do that in my own home. But I don't have the money.
Just make your own pond. Call it a day.
Why can't we pay a little extra to the YMCA?
The Y sucks from what I've never been to the Y, but I know a lot of people that hate the Y. I don't know why. That was funny.
Don't know why the Y is why.
But I never been to the Y.
Well,
I don't know.
I've
always
go
been
there.
to the rec.
I went there years ago because I wanted a pass because at the time I was working days and I wanted to go. And the guy was real nice. He said at this time, between this time and this time, Jackson, this was the Jackson Y, the Jackson kids come down to practice because they got a swim team. He said, you can come here during that time, but he says you won't enjoy it. And then he said, and then between these times, the times the little kids and blah, blah, blah. And he told me the prices and I'm like, and the Y was very expensive. Like horribly. I want to say like $800 for a year membership or something. And I'm just like, there's no way I can buy a pool for that much. But
yeah.
And of course the hours didn't work. At that time, the rec center in Massillon was open till 11, and I think the Y shut down at like 9.
9 or 10, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe.
So I'm just like, ugh, but why can't it's 18 and older, or even 30 and older? Fuck it. I mean, whatever. And just, you have to pay extra and you have to sign a waiver. If anything happens, your family can't sue and blah, blah, blah.
That's almost how you can't swim 24/7. I think at like dusk, I think.
So that's like 7.
You can't swim until 8 or 9.
Oh, they shut it down for a couple hours to clean it?
No, it's a pond, basically. It's out in Orville. What is the name? We have all my family reunions there, and I can't even think of the name. Catskis.
Oh, Catskis. Oh.
Catskis, yeah. It's kind of boring, but, I mean, just to go swimming, it's fairly cheap. I think it was like, I haven't went in a couple years because of COVID and everything, but it was like $10 a car, I think. And you could have as many people in the car as you want, but it was just $10 for your car, and you're there the whole day. They got little grills out and everything, and go swimming. But there's no lifeguard on duty.
Yeah.
And they make it very well known just so they don't get sued.
Sure.
And there's been a couple people, I mean, it's sad that they drowned from everything.
But it's not the venue's fault.
Nope.
Swim at your own risk. I have no issues with that whatsoever. And I also know that in this area, we are good enough people that if someone becomes a floater, someone's going to rush to your aid.
Oh, no, I highly doubt some of the people in Ohio would do something. I have very few little faith in humanity anymore.
I'm getting there.
It's just becoming ridiculous anymore now.
That's hate speech.
I don't care.
And I'm going to call Will. He can show up and smack you.
I don't care.
You would. Anyways, all right, we're actually going over a little bit, but so I just wanted to close that out. That I just wish there was a place we can go swimming.
That is a really good idea. I wish I had money now.
I know, right?
That could be a very good moneymaker.
Wonder if anybody would. The only thing I can think of would be like to make porn, but no one wants to see me, so that's out the window. No, well,
I highly doubt anybody wanted to see Ron Jeremy too. But look at that.
Oh, he was a very successful porn star. Now he's not.
Not that I know.
Now he's doing
anything,
it for free.
But I think he still does it.
No, he's in prison now. I can't remember what he went for, but
that kind of don't surprise me, honestly.
Yeah.
None of it does anymore.
Nope. All right, peeps, we are going to get out of here. Thanks for listening. Sorry about all the drop frames, but that's all right. If you can't watch it on YouTube because it's dropping too many frames, just go to utreon.com and we'll have it uploaded in a couple hours. Thanks, everybody. See you next week. You gonna say bye?
I really want to say my feet are freezing.
Yeah, my back is frozen.
My feet